In fact, nobody was believing SONAME would last until today.
SONAME Talks.
Welcome to the 75th Anniversary Special Series. Honoring the past, shaping the present, inspiring the future. Join us as we celebrate 75 years of the profession. A story written in waves, welded with resilience, and carried by generations. The legacy lives on, the journey continues. And in today's episode, we will be joined by our esteemed guests, starting off with a cum laude graduate and a top-notcher of the Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering Licensure Examination in 1983, with more than 40 years of experience in the shipping industry. He is the president of 𝗥𝗲𝗆 Shipping Corporation and 𝗥𝗲𝗆 Shipping Corporation, and the chairman of Great Southern Maritime Services Corporation. He is also the chairman and the founding president of the Society of Naval Architects and Marine Engineers, or SONAME, the board director of the Maritime Industry Authority of the Philippines, and chairman of the technical panel of Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering of the Commission on Higher Education. We have Engineer Samuel Lim.
Thank you. Long introduction.
And we are also joined by a PMMA graduate of Batch 67, top of his class, and a reservist of the Philippine Navy for 12 years, with varied experience in merchant marine and marine service industry. He was the president of the Philippine Federation of Professional Associations and Master and Mates of the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Rear Admiral Adonis Donato. Hello, sir. Welcome.
Thank you for the nice and kind introduction.
Yes. This time, sir, we are going to be having a trip down the memory lane. So with so much that happened in the world, the rise of the internet, the Cold Wars, and some space exploration, please take us back on how did the profession or the SONAME started? Paano po ba nagsimula ang organization at ang profession na to in the Philippines?
Actually, before we started, we were reminiscing, both me and Admiral Donato, about this. Well, of course, professionally, I'm a naval architect, right? But a lot of my experience is in ship management. I reached this stage that, some of the industry sectors believe in me. But I'm still a naval architect, right? And then there was an invitation from the prevailing president at that time, Engineer Danny Reyes, who was the president of the Philippine Association for Naval Architects and Marine Engineers, or PANAME. So he said, okay, why don't you help us? And then, well, to cut the story short, I was selected as president of PANAME. But at that time also, I saw we need to revive the membership. Here I am, quite we did a lot of work with the Manning Association. I think I want to, reallocate my energy and time for my profession. That's why when I finished my term with FAME, I really focused on revitalizing PANAME. However, at that time, we had issues with SEC. That's why we thought it best to rebrand PANAME to now called SONAME. And to be rebranded like that, we need to be also properly be recognized and accredited by the Professional Regulation Commission.
Yeah.
So that one, we were quite successful on that. But of course, with the help of my friend, Admiral Donato, who was then chairman of that federation. I think Admiral Donato can expound further, but just to summarize it, so that's how SONAME started. And I'm so glad Admiral Donato's here, because he was part of that step, the first step. Usually when you start something, it's hard. It's like being a student, you start something, you don't know what's in What will happen in the world? What will you do? SONAME was like that. In fact, nobody was believing SONAME would last until today and to be this strong and a lot of achievements already. So really, I owe a lot of debt of gratitude to my friend Admiral Donato for believing in us at that time.
And Admiral Donato, with all the the achievements that the organization has achieved, what can you say that we are now celebrating the 75th year of this professional organization?
Some saying that the profession of naval architects and marine engineers, I think we have to give it a push, no? Why? Because at that time it was somewhat dormant, this Paname. So we had this induction, and of course I was very much humbled and honored to do induction. But I was never mistaken, you know. Recalling from now all of this, I could only give so much, you know, what do you call this? So much admiration for what Sam and the SONAME has accomplished.
With your inspiration, sir.
Well, and I really hope our shipping industry, our shipbuilding industry, and a local shipping industry, I hope. I don't know, Sam, if they have enough naval architects now from our association. That we hope that even our foreign shipbuildings will, if they are doing the local shipbuilding here in our, I'm sure that they will, of course, try to get the services of our local naval architects.
Thank you, sir, for sharing with us the story on kung paano nga ba nagsimula ang ating organization from the Paname to SONAME. And to touch on that, can you share what the industry was like from the 1950s compared to the industry that we have now? And what did you see, or what was the need for the Paname to be established?
Yeah, that's
Maybe Sam and I can do
well,
that.
1950s, I was not born yet, so that will be difficult for me to describe. But I can just brief you or give you some information from when I started this career with naval architecture back in 1978, 79. Okay, at that time, shipping was in a deep recession. You know, vessels were just scrap value. So I mentioned that. So just for context, no? So it was not really encouraging to take up this course at that time. But my parents told me, because we had a small shipyard in Las Piñas, so they said, "Oh, we need you to become a naval architect." Okay, and at that time there were only a handful. I mean, my license number is 184. That's a handful. Now, of course, it's like 1,600 naval architects license. Before, my licensure was 184.
Wow.
So that's the motivation of my parents telling me, take up naval architecture. Walang kalaban. So, konti lang kayo, you know. But no, I put my hats off to my superiors, my seniors, so to speak, because they were the first batch. They really bet their career, their lives on this profession. So in fact, the 75 years we're talking about is about the profession, not just SONAME or Paname, because the profession started even before Paname started. So it started when they started studying for naval architecture in the Philippines.
The predecessors.
Yeah, so they really, so everybody knows each other that time. Also for us, they're our idols, our seniors. Hopefully one of these days you can still interview them. So that time, so they were doing everything during those times, from designing, inspection, Coast Guard, estimating, and those were the times where wala pa ngang calculator di ba? I remember our batch 83 was the first batch which were allowed to use calculators sa board exam. But before that, their time was slide rule, longhand calculation. So ang galing nila talaga. Believe ako sa kanila. Estimation, galing. And I guess yung tanong mo, is really this profession goes with the development of the country, shipbuilding natin, di ba? So kung malakas ang demand for shipbuilding here, mas mag-grow to na mas mabilis. So you can see through those years, yung batch ko 60 ang mga license at that batch. That was already high in numbers, even for today's standard. Diba? Pero before and after, meron mga 10 lang, 5 lang ang pumapasa sa board exam. Because sila din naman ang nag-take ng board exam. That's not many. And there was only one school then, which is my alma mater and the alma mater of a lot of the baby boomers,
Really?
which is NAME, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering Institute in Mandaluyong. It was only the first one.
Still
So
still existing there?
Still existing, sir,
Okay.
already with STI.
Oh,
And if I can say, now there are 8 HEIs
good.
offering naval architecture, sir.
That's good.
So yung good news ko sa inyo.
Wow, that's good news.
We started with 1, now it's 8
Yeah.
with 2 state universities.
And SONAME has a lot to do about that.
Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, sir. You can see from the start of 3 years ago, we started having presidents that are of the millennials age. Yung kaming mga baby boomers, medyo still there, but advising na lang. But we really plan na ang mga presidents natin will be mga millennials, young generation. But it's also like preparing the next batch of leaders for us. And that's why, if I can mention it na lang, Engineer Ray, yung ating first part is about, yung past and present. Pero yung second half would be about the future, yung future leaders. So, abangan mo natin.
Yes. So there are more to expect on our episodes of the SONAME Talks. And going back on that, sir, Admiral Donato, with vast experience in merchant marine and marine service, how could you describe the industry before? And what do you think has been the contribution of PANAME, which has soon became SONAME, in being added as part of the Philippine Federation of Professional Associations?
Well, as Sam said, during the early 50s, 60s, our shipping industry, mostly especially the global market, the global shipping is mostly what they call this, foreign vessels are the one running the global economy. And but of course, the Philippines has been blessed to have this. We have the crewing. The Filipino seafarers has been what do you call this? The best, not the best. I mean we capture the market. I think almost 70% the time were all Filipino seafarers, but serving foreign flag vessels. Because I think the Filipino Ship Owners Association then just very few vessels that is running running Philippine flag. I was fortunate to be appointed to be the Philippine delegate to the STCW Mother Convention in 1978. But we were supposed to be a delegation there with the National Seaman Board and the other agency. But on the last day, I don't know for what reasons unknown, the other delegates was not able to attend. So I was the sole delegate to London for this 1978 Mother Convention of STCW. Okay. Anyway, that was the end of thing. But I don't know now, but still, we are still fortunate that the Filipino seafarers are still number one in demand for shipping. I think we're still doing well. The Filipino seafarers are still in demand and become more competitive.
Kung konti lang tayo, we should, work together. And even if konti tayo, we can make our mark in the industry.
SONA Me Talks.